Welcome back, you guys. Tomorrow, 8 PM UK time, we play our final game of this year's group stage against FC KRASNODAR. Now already, we have topped the group. We have already automatically qualified for the round of 16. So technically, in the game tomorrow, we're going to play against an FC KRASNODAR team that is literally looking to play for pride. They recently defeated Rennes in their last encounter and they booked their place for the Europa League. So for tomorrow's game, we can afford to blood some youth. We can afford to give minutes to squad players that need more time, that needs more fitness, that need more preparation. Are we going to see Gilmour start? Are we going to see Jorginho play? Who is Lampard going to use up front in tomorrow's game? I'm going to discuss and break down everything, you guys, so stay tuned and find out more in today's match preview. Now we start with the press conference, and in typical Frank Lampard fashion, of course, he attended and arrived late for the press conference. Now, it started with some pretty bad news. I mean, number one, we already know that Ziyech is out with his hamstring injury. At least later today, he is going to get those final scans and reports so we get the full understanding of just how severe this hamstring is. And to add to the bad news, some terrible news surrounding Hudson-Odoi. He picked up another hamstring injury during training. He won't be playing against FC KRASNODAR, and right now where Ziyech is out the team and where Callum is showing the signs that he is understanding what Lampard wants, that he's improving as a player, adding to his game, as well as playing to his confident best, this is another frustration that is killing that momentum. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be too severe and he comes back soon, but for Callum to be injured now is absolutely terrible timing. Now to move on to some positive news, I guess. We've got some certainties in regards to players who are destined to start the game tomorrow. So those two players are Kepa and Billy Gilmour, and the fact that Kepa is given his first game after God knows how long in a game that is effectively meaningless. I think that kind of tells you everything that you need to know about how Kepa is viewed by the coaches at this club. But with Gilmour, this is a great opportunity to just, carry on that momentum. I do think that he could find himself more game time as the season goes on because we need a backup for N'Golo Kante. Gilmour proved at the end of last season that he has this in abundance in his game, so I do think that Gilmour might become a useful addition for this team this season. And to end with Frank Lampard's press conference, he spoke about Kai Havertz, with Lampard basically saying, listen, he's under no pressure right now. I know that one day Kai is going to be one of the best players in the world and one of the best players at this club. Lampard was trying to remind people just how much COVID affected Kai because, again, this is a respiratory disease. This is, affecting how you run, how you use your lungs, your breathing, etc., etc. So it's no surprise that with Kai's recent form, he looks like a player that is lacking some of that fitness because that's what COVID does. So I agree with Frank. I know that most of us agree with Lampard too. There's no need to put unnecessary pressure on Kai Havertz. Let the process happen naturally. And now we move on very briefly to Billy Gilmour's segment for the press conference today. And in the press conference, Gilmour was asked about how he felt about Scotland obviously qualifying for the Euros for next summer. Gilmour, in typical Gilmour fashion, he loves to say hard work, hard work, hard work. He's saying that he's going to work his hardest to try and book himself a spot in that team for the summer. So let's hope that happens. That would be incredible experience for Gilmour to get to represent his nation during the summer. It would be absolutely mad. Gilmour was asked about how he's finding the new addition to the team this season and how he feels about how the injury kind of affected his momentum. Gilmour's obviously saying that everyone's excited by the new signings that came this summer, and he said that he's been able to cope mentally because of the players in the team. The fact that he can come back, work out and train hard with them was good motivation to get back to full speeds. But to give my conclusions on Gilmour's press conference, I got the impression that he looks ready. He looks confident. He looks like he's ready to come back and just continue on with that momentum that he originally set for himself. I think considering the fact that we're having so many injuries this season, if you're Gilmour, I think the best decision is to remain here and fight for a place in the team. We now move on to the predicted lineup part for today's video, and just to quickly say at the start, I'm really hoping in tomorrow's game that we are going to see Lampard turn towards La Cobham. I want to see players like ANJORIN get some minutes from the field. I want to see Lewis Bate get some minutes. I want to see guys like Henry Lawrence, Livramento, and others, get some involvement in tomorrow's game because I do think that we can afford to get any result tomorrow. And the fact that this is a rare opportunity for a lot of these young guys to get a game at this level, considering the competition in this team right now, I do hope that Lampard gives the opportunity to them because, you know, for me with the club right now, the first team isn't just exclusively the most important thing to worry about, because these academy guys are going to get spurred on knowing that their hard work and efforts can amount to one day getting a first team spot or representing the squad. So let's hope that happens tomorrow. I've got 2 predicted lineups for you guys, starting with my first one. Now, I've gone for a 4-3-3. Now, due to the fact that Hudson-Odoi is out for tomorrow's game, my lineup is looking kind of strong. I've got Tammy Abraham, I've got Timo Werner, and I've got Christian Pulisic. Now, of course, remember, in the Champions League, we can use up to 5 subs, and you just know that Lampard is going to heavily rotate. So just because some players are starting, it doesn't necessarily mean that their stamina levels are going to be affected for future games. I don't think it's going to be like that. So as you guys can see up front, that's my lineup. Now in midfield, I've gone for Gilmour, Kai Havertz, and Jorginho as well. My thinking for this is that Jorginho needs some minutes. I think that Kai still needs to get back to full speed, so at least playing 45 minutes in the game tomorrow is going to help him towards that. And I kind of think that Gilmour might play a bit further upfield, even though I prefer to see him play in the base of midfield. So of course, after that, you guys can see the defense. I've got Emerson, Rudiger, Christensen, Azpilicueta, and Kepa in goal. So that marks off lineup 1. Moving on to the predicted lineup number 2, and I've gone for a 4-2-3-1. Now, as you guys can see, I've gone for Tammy up front, Werner down the left, Pulisic down the right hand side, Kai Havertz in the middle, and in midfield I've gone for Jorginho and I've gone for Gilmour. I just think that because Jorginho hasn't played as many games, and now that Cover is back and firing, and with all these recent injuries too, I don't think he has to be risked like that for the full 90 minutes in tomorrow's game. In defense, I've gone for Emerson, Rudiger, Christensen, Aspie, and Kepa as well. And for the final lineup, again, I'm going for a 4-3-3. Now, as you guys can see, I've got Gilmour playing the Kante role, and that's based on the fact that I see Gilmour playing in this position more than playing as a number 8, in my personal opinion. I just think that we need a backup for Kante. Gilmour's the closest we have to that, so tomorrow is a great time to see how he's going to do in this role again, and just how far away he is from getting back to his full optimum match performance. So again, I've got that. And in midfield, I've gone for Cover and I've gone for Kai Havertz, purely based on the fact that Kai, all of this type of game time that he can get is going to help him recover even quicker. So up front, I've gone for Pulisic, I've gone for Tammy and Werner, and in defense, I've made a few slight changes. I've gone for Emerson, Rudiger, Tomori, because he needs some game time. Tomorrow is the perfect time for this, and I've gone for Azpilicueta and Kepa in goal. Now, again, as I'm stressing, we have 5 subs we can use. I'm hoping to see that bench full and stacked of Cobham grads. I want to see ANJORIN play, and I'm hoping that he can play that number 8 role in tomorrow's game. We know that he can't really train with both the first team and the younger age groups due to the COVID restrictions, so he needs some form of minutes, and I'm hoping tomorrow that's going to be the case. So you guys in the comments below, give me your thoughts and opinions. Tell me what lineup do you want to see, and if you don't like my lineups, tell me what lineup that you would pick for tomorrow's game. Now, just to give some closing thoughts to wrap up this match preview, tomorrow, of course, there's an opportunity for the rest of the squad to demonstrate why we have a squad capable of winning trophies and winning titles. I think in the last game versus Sevilla, seeing how all the squad depth now is fully fit and fully ready, I think it really took us all by surprise just how strong we look as an entire team and as an entire unit. I just think adding to this right now would be great by including some young players from the academy. I think players like Lewis, Bate and ANJORIN in particular could really benefit from some game time. They definitely have the ability, they definitely have the confidence. ANJORIN's already got a few minutes under his belt already, but some of the injuries over the past few months have obviously slowed down some of that momentum. But now that he's back, I just think that now is an opportunity to give him a test to see what he can add. The fact that Hudson-Odoi is out, Ziyech's out, it does feel like we are going to have to turn towards some younger players to help us, fill out some of the depth in these attacking positions. And the fact that ANJORIN can play down the left wing, play as a number 8 as well, and, play as a number 10 too, could really be a great addition for this team right now. Still though, I think I do have to comment on just how impeccable we have been in this year's Champions League. I mean, even comparing us from last season, the struggles, and I say this all the time, but it really felt like last season we had to play at our very best every single game just to get the smallest hopes of getting a win. The levels this season are absolutely unreal, and the fact that now we've topped our group stage comfortably, The fact that we can offer, more minutes to squad depth players and younger players now, and the fact that, our chances of hopefully progressing to the quarterfinals are heavily increased by the fact that we are topping this year's group. When you look at the other teams that are coming second in the Champions League, other than maybe Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain, who aren't as good as they used to be, and of course your Atletico Madrid, you do feel like this team has enough in its locker room to progress and go deeper in this year's UCL. Very exciting times, and I'm going to give you guys my match prediction score for the game tomorrow. I'm going for another clean sheet, and I'm going for another big scoreline. I'm going for a 4-0 win over FC KRASNODAR. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed. In the comments below, give me your thoughts, opinions, engage. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.